Christ was a prophet.
Yes, that's good.
He was the Messiah, but not necessarily the Son of God.
Good.
I also know that you believe he didn't die on the cross, but he was taken up to heaven.
Hey, you know a lot, man. Look at you.
I also know that you believe that at the end of the world, Jesus Christ will come back and defeat the Antichrist.
Nice.
I don't really know a whole lot about Islamic afterlife or anything like
All
that.
right.
But
Well, we believe in heaven. We believe in hell. Not so much like the Christian, like Hollywood version, but more like an everlasting, wonderful life in peace with where you can see God, live forever. We believe there's a punishment in hell. We don't believe the devil rules hell. We believe he's being punished as well because he's not, it's not like he's a king in hell or something like that.
Yeah.
We have some things in common. I mean, you believe that the Bible, as the King James Version, as they have it today, is not complete, right?
Yeah.
And we believe it's been corrupted as well. We believe the true message of Jesus that he spoke to his followers in Aramaic is not what we find in the New Testament today, right? So that's something we have in common. As Muslims, we have a different belief. We believe all the prophets followed the same basic principles of religion. I think you have the same belief because a lot of Mormons have criticized the biblical, connotation of the canon today. I mean, in fact, Joseph Smith had his own translation of the New Testament. But you guys don't use it.
Well, it's not really a translation. That's kind of a.
It is. I have it.
He
He translated it.
He didn't actually translate. He just read the New Testament and received inspiration as he read it. So there was no reading the Greek manuscript and translating.
I think it is. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I have it. And it's actually side by side the one I have with King James, and he translated differently. It's not not reading the English and then writing another English. He actually looks at, and there's difference in verses.
I've read it, yeah.
But have you read the side by side
Yeah.
with the King James?
Yeah, so most of it's very similar, but as he
Very
read
different.
the King James Version, he received inspiration to add inspired correction to it.
No, but many of them, the verses, his translation has additional wording that is not in the King James. Not just a translation, but additional wording.
Yeah.
So you do believe that King James was wrong because he corrected it, right?
Not necessarily. We just think it was, as a whole, the King James Version is generally correct, but it has some imperfections.
But today, why don't you guys use his translation instead of the King James? Because he obviously corrected it. That doesn't make sense, right? I mean, if he's a prophet who's getting direct revelation and he sees the King James translation has mistakes and corrects them, as a Mormon, I would think you'd be like, let's use his. You should look into it, man. I mean, you're on a mission. You should know your religion, know your history well, right?
I mean, we do research, but we don't have all the answers. We're just sharing about the Book of Mormon, how it's changed our lives,
Nice.
how it's changed other people's lives.
Yeah. So what do you believe about the afterlife?
I guess similar to you, where we believe there is
Heaven?
heaven is peace in the presence of God.
Okay.
With your family,
Okay.
and then we don't believe in a biblical, a Hollywood hell.
All right, good. Me too, man. What do you think about the mark of Cain?
I don't know.
You should read. Brigham Young explains it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What does he say? Do you know?
I just know Brigham Young. He wasn't perfect. He said something.
He's a prophet, though, right?
Oh yeah.
So he got revelation from God.
Yeah.
So when God told him that mark of Cain is dark skin, that was revelation, right?
I don't know if he necessarily claimed that it.
He did. So as a prophet, when he brings a message, his message can be wrong?
Sometimes.
That's kind of weird. And if you're in touch with God, you're getting a message, then...
Yeah, but also, Brigham Young still sinned because he was a man, right? He wasn't Christ.
Yeah.
And so he was capable of...
Lying about God?
Oh, not necessarily lying, but...
I mean, saying the mark of Cain is dark skin is not a personal opinion, is it? It's like, that's revelation, right?
Here's the thing is that revelation doesn't come in a vacuum. People are influenced by their surroundings. So Brigham Young was influenced by his surroundings. He lived in America in the 1800s.
He was racist.
Everyone was racist back then.
So
right?
prophet was racist. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
I don't believe any of the prophets are racist. I don't believe the prophets in Islam were influenced on their message by their surroundings. So like when you read in the writings of Brigham Young and even the Book of Mormon about the mark of Cain, that's like, to me that would be difficult to swallow, thinking that God cursed people with dark skin, right?
There's actually the church is growing really quickly in Africa.
Yeah,
the church isn't hiding anything anymore.
Yeah,
so.
That's good. At least it's published. Yeah. But they weren't allowed to be black Mormons until what, the 80s, was it?
No, everyone was allowed to join the church from the very beginning.
Nah, I think there was a time when you couldn't be a black Mormon. You better look that up. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a ban on membership. It was a ban on receiving the priesthood.
So why couldn't you be a black priest?
You couldn't. No, not at the time.
Why not?
Because it was racism.
So the Mormon church was racist.
Yeah, but so is every church in the
Not
1800s.
Muslims. No, Muslims were not racist in the 1800s. We've always had black Muslims. We've always had black Muslim scholars. We've always had black Muslim imams. And Chinese and white and brown.
That's
Right?
awesome.
You ever read the Quran?
I read some of it.
All right, cool, man. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay.
All right, good talking to you guys.
What was your name?
Uthman.
Uthman.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.